and warm welcome to our show, Efauji Talks, an IESECCI initiative which promises to bring brilliant speakers and inspiring stories each episode on board. I am Shavinda, the brand head of the show, and the Efauji Talks proudly presents its second series named Inspiring Indians. Today, at the Inspiring Indian series, we have with us Mr. Mehernosh Daruwalla, a renowned image consultant and a corporate trainer. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. A very good evening. Thank you, Shavinder, for having me here, and a warm welcome to everybody who's viewing this. Thank you.
Great. So, before we start our discussion, let me acquaint our viewers to our guest. As a certified image consultant, his working space involves with individuals for their enhancement in the area of appearance and grooming, behavior and communication in all walks of their life. As a certified soft skills trainer, he is associated with prestigious institutes, small, medium enterprises, and corporate organizations. His interest is in developing customized training programs for the organizations to achieve their desired goals and objectives. He has conducted several workshops and training seminars in various prestigious institutes, corporate organizations, and is empaneled as a trainer with the government of Gujarat for a project on skill development for more than 3 years. He is able to interact positively and courteously in multicultural work environment with an understanding of importance of professional approach. And today I feel really glad that I am one of his students who has been trained by him. So it's wonderful to have you as our guest speaker today.
Thank you, Shavinder. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity on and coming on E4G Talks organized by IESECCI. This is actually indeed a privilege and an honor to be here on this platform with you and sharing a few snippets and insights of what we are going to discuss about image management and soft skill training. So thank you very much once again for having me here, and thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Great. So I am so eager to get into a conversation with you today. Obviously,
Right.
my first question is, so what is image consultant and who is it for?
Right. So talking about image management first. So image management, a lot of people say, you will hear a lot of different things, what they say. And, in terms of image management is for dressing, image management is only to do with clothing, image management is only for people who are, the creme a la creme, it's only for the who's who. Well, what we as image consultants say is image management is for everybody. It's a basic human need. Whoever wants to look good, whoever wants to feel good, and whoever wants to perform well, image management is for them. And looking good, feeling good, and performing well can be for anybody. It's a basic human need that we all crave for, right? So that is what image management is. And to do this job as image consultants, so we are somebody who are professionals who are trained in this particular area through a professional curriculum. And as consultants, the role that we play in the lives of these individuals who have this need to look, feel, and perform better is what we do is there are certain yardsticks through which we do this journey for them. And the yardsticks are, one, through their appearance, through their dressing and clothing. So that's one part of it. Second, through their behavior and communication. Third, by managing their digital presence today, social media is something which is of high importance value in everybody's life. So managing their presence on that. And lastly, by the etiquette that they practice. So these are a few yardsticks that we take help of while consulting them in this entire process. And we do this over a period of time. It's not an overnight shift that happens. It's a gradual process. It takes time. However, yes, one does see the results and experiences the benefits of it once he or she has gone through the process.
Great. This really, answers many queries to our viewers today, like who would be interested or are into the field of image management. I always feel, however the food is cooked well, if it is not presented well, I'm sure all of us would just not even try tasting it, So definitely, if you have those innate qualities, why not exhibit it in a manner which has to be, is presentable? So
True.
when you talk about image management as, a part which is required by everybody, but does it really have any scope in the tier two cities?
So, Shavinder, here, as image consultants and trainers, the best part is we wear many hats, all right, and there are many facets to this particular, umbrella science of image management that one can get into. Talking about different cities, every city comes with different demographics. In terms of the demographics, in terms of the audience, in terms of the market, in terms of the industries, there could be manufacturing, there could be startups, there could be an IT sector, there could be also various educational institutes that are there. Now, when we say that tier two metro cities or tier two cities, is there work? Yes, there is work in metro cities, but there's different kind of work in metro cities. When we talk about tier two cities, so I come from a tier two city, which is Vadodara in Gujarat, all right? And over here, what I have largely seen, and considering other tier two cities, is that there is a lot of scope because the exposure that people have is somewhere limited in terms of the resources that are available to them in and around. And hence, because the exposure is limited, the scope of a person to grow is much more. And that's where, when we talk about work which can be in terms of tier two cities which can come up, is also there for quite a large extent. And that's where, as image consultants, there are many image consultants who are there in tier two cities, and there's a lot of work that each of us have. So yes, there is scope. In metro cities, again, the scope is different. In tier, like I said, in metro cities, probably the exposure levels are more. Hence, a more niche market will have to be established in order to procure work in those cities.
Absolutely. Very rightly, conveyed that why people should consider it in tier two cities. It's just not for the, metro cities. It is for anybody and everybody, as you have rightly mentioned earlier. Mr. Manosh, I am actually an academician primarily, and
Right.
I have, understood a lot about NEP. So I really want to know. My next question is, what is the scope of, vocational skills after the introduction of new NEP?
So it's very nice when the national education policy came up, the new one, and there was a lot of emphasis and highlight being given to the importance of vocational skills. And finally, it garnered the spotlight, which was very, very important and which was lacking. One of the key reasons, Shavinder, look at it this way, that our country we are one of in the top five, largest populated country in the world. And but still, we are considered a developing nation.
Developing.
We are not considered a developed nation, which is really sad, and which really hits a lot of us very hard. That even though having the best talent, having the best resources, the education, we still are lacking in some places. And one of these key places that we are lacking are these skills, are the skills of presenting ourselves, are these skills where today less emphasis on the academics and more emphasis on these skills. Somewhere they have realized that we need to strike that balance, because yes, technical skills are important. However, again, research says that most interviews, and again, most interviews are cracked due to the having due to perceiving good soft skills. So which is again a parameter where it says that then actually what is important. So yes, we do require these skills, and if we inculcate them from an early age in the students that we have, who are actually the future of our country. Today, if you and me are going to be working towards a secure future, it is the youth that we need to tackle today. It is the youth that we need to direct them in the right direction. It is the youth that we need to upskill. because if they will be upskilled, then you and me will be able to live in a more secure, in a safer place, which we would be proudly calling as a developed nation, right? So
Absolutely.
that's something which is there. The policy focuses on bringing vocational education, yes, into the mainstream education. And to do this, there are certain challenges which the academic institutions and educational institutions are going to face. A couple of challenges which they are going to face over here is one, that how well equipped the teachers are to execute these trainings, because the trainings would come in two parts. One would be the theoretical part and one would be the practical part. So how well equipped do we have our teachers already at this level? So that's going to be, a quite of a challenge and a question which is going to come. And that's where we feel that, role models like you will definitely come into picture and, guide them through this process, because that's what is going to be important. I'm sure you must have realized the kind of difference you would have been able to make after pursuing this course. And I really look up to you for this as a principal of the school for so many years of experience. You still had that thing in you that, no, I want to still upgrade to this part of my life. I still, that hunger, which is usually not there when people, once they reach a certain level in life, they feel, they've reached this, plain and a euphoric stage where they say, that, okay, I'm right there, I have arrived. There is nothing more in life that I need to achieve or do or grow. And I think that's where growth stops. So that is something really plausible that you have done. And I'm sure people like you will play an important role in, trickling this vocational skills down into our education.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj. You've been kind enough to appreciate. But I keep telling my students and my teachers, anything that exists now, any kind of job that exists now, may not exist after 5 years. But only thing which
True.
will continue is our skills. If we are upgraded, we are skilled well, I'm sure we can sail through. As you have rightly pointed, I personally felt, there's something that I'm lacking, and that's when I pursued this course from the ICBI. But definitely, and there is no harm and there is no end to learning. Why not? Then let's continue with the journey of learning. All right, great.
Sorry to interrupt here, but I've also got some facts which I wanted to share. In an assessment by the National Institute of Open Schooling, highlights that only 2% of the total population in between 15 to 29 years of age received formal vocational training, and only 8% received non-formal vocational training. So this
That's
is something, this consensus is something which is really unique, alarming, and
alarming.
our objective should be to, increase this percentage to the maximum that we can.
I'm really glad the new NEP actually speaks about that, empowering children from the formation level, from the
True.
formative years. That's when they should
Absolutely.
know how to tackle with their emotions, conflict management, every damn thing. Because then these are the reasons for, the youth getting diverted in their career and taking, some step. I'm sure all this will never stop, but we will, or we trust that we have a better future because of that. So the government has definitely taken a good initiative, and thanks to the organizations that you are affiliated, who are actually empowering those who want to not only change their life and also change others life as well. That's really wonderful. My next obvious question is, what are some of the government projects on skills development? I also read about you that you are an empanel trainer with the government of Gujarat. So I'm sure you must be aware of a couple of them.
Right. So the project that I'm associated with is a project initiated by the Gujarat State Education Department. They formed a body called KCG, which is Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat. And under that body, they were running various skill development programs and programs connected with, education for the government and the state and the students of the state. So one of the programs through which I was also empaneled with them it was called Finishing School. And this program consists of 80 hours of training which was given to the final year students of the graduation colleges, engineering colleges, and some of the technical institutes, which are ITIs in the state. So more than over 200 and approximately 40 colleges were empaneled, and there were trainers who were selected and shortlisted from the state to run this program. In 80 hours, this program was divided into two parts, which was 40 hours of life and employability skills and 40 hours of functional English skills, which was imparted to these final year students. Now, the reason they came up with this program was every year there used to be a lot of companies who used to recruit from these colleges. However, the conversion ratio was not very good. And whenever they used to go for recruitment, although there were thousands of graduate students falling out every year and graduating, but very few used to actually end up getting the jobs. So that's when the government conducted a research and they came up with there were certain skills that they were lacking, and they said, why don't we come up with a skill development program which will empower these students. So the ratio initially was somewhere between 30 to 35%, which after at least 3 years, which went up to more than 45 to 46% of employability of the students in the state. So that really helped. This program really helped in bringing up the employability factor in the students. It started spreading. The students started learning a lot in terms of how to present themselves in the interview. What are the kind of questions that they are asked? How do you dress in an interview? What are the few skills that are required once you join in an organization on the job? In terms of leadership, communication, interpersonal skills, teamwork. So these were a few topics in terms of soft skill training, which were imparted to them. And it really made a difference in their growth and development. There are a lot of students who write to us, mentioning about their story on how the finishing school program actually helped them in transitioning from a student to a professional. And when we read those, it's really heartwarming, and we feel that yes, there is some change we are getting at the grassroots level. Because these colleges, Shavinder, let me tell you, are not only colleges which are located in the metro or the tier 2 cities, or these are colleges which are located even in remote locations and areas, in tribal belts, within villages and towns with a population of not more than 2,000 to 3,000 people. However, still there are colleges which have been set up, which means upgradation needs to be done at the grassroots level. Let's not forget, our country is right now standing with a rural population, or a rural region of more than 60% of our country is rural. We cannot forget that. All of us only look at the 10 big cities of our country, which is you look at Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, and Hyderabad. But if you remove these cities from our country, we will nowhere be even on the world map. We will be wiped off, right? So that's something we can't just be focusing on these cities. There's a lot of work that requires to be done at these levels as well, and that's something the government projects are doing in terms of skill development. NSDC is coming up with a lot of good projects in uplifting and skill development. Skill India is a huge movement which is started by the government and initiated by the government. So yes, the government is taking skill development into consideration as one of the huge factors, plowing the success of the country. So that's something which is important, and I'm glad they're looking into it, and I hope they continue to look into it so that we move ahead in the right direction.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that even image consultant or soft skill, it's taking a mainstream career option, and it is definitely, as we've said, it empowers other. So it's a beautiful way of understanding, and it is an umbrella term. It covers everything under it. Great, Mr. Mehernosh, the conversation is absolutely interesting. I can go on and on, but due to time constraint, I'll ask one last question to you. What is your advice? What is your advice to the generation next anything that you feel that they should, take care their life to, how to take their life in that manner.
So, Shavi, one of the reasons why I do this also is because I love connecting with the youth. I find a lot of potential in them, and I feel they are actually the future of our country, and there's a lot that we can do with them. So my message, to them would be just a quick 4 or 5 things if I have to tell you, understanding and giving importance because we're running out of time. First is, be self-aware. That's very, very important today. Knowledge of self is the new superpower. Let me tell you this way. About your goals, about your strengths, your weaknesses, yeah, about what kind of values you hold, what is it that you want out of life, what gives you happiness. Spend time with yourself as much as you can, because that's really very, very important. And think about your life. And when I say spend time with yourself, not with your phone, not with your laptop, not on social media. It is just you and yourself, and probably a goal book that you have. So that's one that I would say. Second is focus on the things that you want, and don't focus on the things that prevent you from getting to what you want, because that's the catch and that's the slip. Today, I think that's the differentiating factor between successful people and unsuccessful people, or not unsuccessful, but people are not as successful as the successful people. Most people fall into the second category and become a victim of getting straying away from their goals in life by focusing on what is preventing them to go where they want. So don't lose that focus. Third would be take accountability of whatever is happening in your life. Don't blame it on others, especially people, situation, your parents, your friends, anybody in life. Because when good things are going to happen, you're going to be there in the limelight taking all the credit, right? So likewise, when things are not going right, take accountability of your actions. Let the equation be balanced. Don't just be there to take the credit, and when it comes to things not going wrong, it's trying to put things on others, because still you're going to keep putting the blame on the situation and others. It's not going to happen. Fourth would be have a collaborative mindset. Help each other, support each other. This is one quality which I have always learned and look forward to from our defense forces. I mean, nobody better than them can explain this. Today, as much as a Fauji when he is at the front, and as much as he is preparing to fight against the opponent, he or she is also equally, giving importance to protect his own people. And I think probably sometimes protecting their own people is weighing much more than actually fighting the opponent.
Absolutely.
Right? So get that quality from them, learn the best from them, have a collaborative mindset, don't have a competitive mindset, because if we are going to compete with each other, then there's no way we can move ahead and take the country ahead. And last is what I would say, practice humility and gratitude. I think all of you all are going to be successful in various walks of life, wherever you go, but keep these two as your best friends by your side, because at the end of the day, trust me, it is only going to be your position in the society that's going to get you all the limelight. But at the end of the day, you are the individual you are. And if you are, if you practice humility and if you're grateful for the things that you have, you will always remain that humble person. So, and that will continue to draw more people towards you. So I think that's something that I have also followed in life, and it's really helped. So I would, these are a few tips that I can think of for the youth today, and I hope they were helpful.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mehernosh. It was indeed very beautifully summarized, and that's very important. A good trainer is a one who not only trains, mentors, but also does the hand holding. And you are a true example of that, Mr. Mehernosh. And I'm
Thank you,
very, very
Shravan.
grateful for sparing out that time and being a part of our show. Uh, the endeavor of the show is to basically inspire others with the inspiring stories. I wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors and wishing you a beautiful 2022, healthy, wealthy, and prosperous to you and your family.
Thank you, Shavinder. I couldn't have asked for a better, session or an opportunity for to end this year on a lovely note and having me on this session. So thank you once again. Thank you, IESECCI, for giving me this platform, and thank you, Abhishek over here, who's helping us with the technical support. And I look forward to meeting everybody and connecting with everybody who has watched this session. Feel free to reach out at any given point of time. Is if there is anything that I can do to make your life better, I'll be more than happy.
Great. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Mr. Manosh. And
Thank you,
today's
Shavinder.
today's show is absolutely very important, and I am really glad that I could host you today. So, if you wish to share inspiring stories, please contact me at shavi@efaujitalks.com. I thank all our viewers and wishing you all a healthy, wealthy, prosperous new year, that is 2022. And we are so happy that we have got tremendous support from our viewers. I thank all the viewers to please like, share, and comment, and especially on this today's show, which is hosted for Mr. Mehernosh Daruwalla, who has has a beautiful experience of explaining to us the beautiful facets of image management and soft skills training. Well, for all more interesting story, please stay tuned. Till then, Jai Hind.
Thank you. Jai Hind.
Fauji Talks is brought to you by IESECCI, Indian Ex-Defence Service Employees Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Thanks to its vast veteran network and global and pan-India associates, IESECCI can carry out various commerce facilitations and CSR projects across India and the world. Some of IESECCI's core capability areas are Skill India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Digital India, any ex-serviceman welfare or job program, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan related projects, telemedicine and healthcare training and job scheme, Save Water scheme, defence industry SME, MSME cluster and hub development, maritime training and inland water training with job facilitation, Canada study, job and permanent residency opportunity, e-commerce, Andaman and Nicobar commerce opportunities. IESECCI's global reach includes countries like Indonesia, Slovakia, Canada, Nepal, Singapore, Rwanda, USA, UK. Above all, it is IESECCI's effort to create a veterans brand made by the veterans, for the veterans and made up of the veterans. Every Indian's support is invaluable in this journey. IESECCI is a registered society for ex-servicemen's welfare and envisions that every veteran should be a part of India's economic growth story. It is the aim of IESECCI to create an enabling commerce platform that will empower and synergize the veterans' talent pool. This is possible only with the support of entrepreneurs, businesses and consultants from civil society. All proceeds, if any, are utilized for the welfare of ex-servicemen and for public charity.